I was not very happy with the last video we made. And yes, I'm saying we, because I like communism and I would like to share the blame with everybody. Right? I like sharing, man. I like to share the blame. You take a blame, you take a blame, everybody takes blame. Anyhow, so yeah, I was not happy with it. You might have realized from the thumbnail, I just slapped text on it, put like this outline, and I was like, slap it on. I'm like, go, fly, bird. And it didn't fly because I knew the video sucked. More than likely, it's gonna be deleted or unlisted. Yeah, you could tell. You can tell I was tired. It was literally recorded at like 4 a.m. in the morning because I couldn't sleep. And yeah, I was not good at it. A good video. So screw it. I'm gonna make this video. I just literally made it because I promised you guys I would make a video. Even though like we don't have that many people, like I could just not do what I promised and move on with my life. But I just wanted to do it. Like, here's your promise. I'm now guilt-free. Let's move on. So what is this video about? Well, this video is going to be about the next theme of the videos. I think I'm going to go document style. Right? So we're going to talk about my overhead press, Nordic curl, and bench a little bit, since we're kind of getting stronger on bench. So let's start with actually another thing I'm going to add, which is my program. So far my program been going fine. I am programming AB weeks, which I like. I like the AB weeks. You don't get to redo a lot of movements and just kind of minimizes overuse. I prefer overdoing something like conjugate, really switching things out more often. In a program like this, you can get away with switching things less, which is amazing. There's some movements at the very end that I don't switch much, like dips. I do that every week. Floor dumbbell press, I do that every week. Some pull-up variations I do every week. Behind the neck pull-ups, I do this every week. Nordic curls also I do every week because there's not much variation I could do. So I just do 2 exercises and I repeat them. Maybe if I start developing overuse, I will switch. For the time being, we're doing just fine, so screw it. So yeah, when it comes to my AB workouts, I have like an A workout which is focused on bench and a B workout that is focused on overhead press. I still overhead press twice a week if you include the behind the neck press. Up to you. I do include it, so I am right now doing 1 high rep on the overhead press on the first week after my bench work, and second day behind the neck press. Behind the neck press is one of the movements I repeat twice. And second week is overhead press, then followed with bench accessory, then more chest, because I still hit the shoulders later on my pull day. I still also hit the shoulders a little bit more at the end of the workout. Other than that kind of that's the workout in a nutshell. Keeping it simple. For conjugate, you might have noticed on Instagram or on Twitch, I've mentioned conjugate a lot. I was like, I'm trying it out. I tried it for like maybe 6 months, I don't remember. I've tried it for a while. I like it. Very fun. Going heavy every week is good. It really is plenty fun. The problem is, you're not supposed to go balls to the wall, and I have a problem. I cannot hold myself back. If I get into a lift and start putting heavy weights, I get a little too excited. And I just start slapping as much weight and end up doing freaking 100%. Which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to build the strength, not use it, or like not test it. And I end up testing it a lot, which is, not good. So switching to something little similar. It's more periodization than conjugate, whatever. So it's going to be quite simple. This is my plan. It's not going to be forever, but I think for the time being, for pull-ups, overhead press, and bench, it's going to work plenty good. So for pull-ups, what I'm going to be doing is I max out on lift next week. Like even if it's 100%, I don't care. Actually, if anything, I want it to be 100%. I'm going to give myself 3 to 5 attempts. And conjugate, I gave myself only 3 attempts, taking advice from Alex Leonidas, which was doing conjugate. Well, actually, probably still doing conjugate, and I respect him, so I'll take his advice. So I still have that. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna max out, give myself 3 to 5 attempts. I don't. The goal of only getting 3 attempts every time you max out is because you max out frequently. You don't want to fatigue yourself. But for what I'm doing, even if I over fatigue myself, it's just fine. It doesn't matter. Why? Because I'm gonna do 5 sets of 1 afterwards, which just gives me more practice. It probably is not gonna be the best way to get strong in the long run. Like, I'm taking advantage of the fact that my form could use plenty of improvement on bench, overhead press, and pull ups. So I thought to myself, why only get one set a week where you go heavy when you can go heavier and just kind of increase weight with like for maybe 3 4 weeks and then switch the variation and do it again? Because you get like this little easy part at the start. And the plan with this 5 sets of 1 is not going to be really 5 sets of 1 all the time. The plan is seeing how low I can go. Like if I start at 85%, what's the most amount of sets I can do? So maybe can do 7 sets of 1 instead of 5 sets of 1 at 85%. I've tried 85%. I'm going to stick to 5 sets of 1. I'm going to go through it and see how it feels. Maybe I'll do it again. And maybe the earlier parts I'll add more, and the later parts I'll just do less. So we'll see. After a certain percentage, when I feel like I'm gonna fail or I fail at the last set of, or like maybe the one before it, maybe I'll just cut it out. Also, another thing with the 5 sets of 1, I was looking around and it seems like people recommended not resting for 3 minutes, which makes sense. You're trying to practice, not trying to really test your strength. In a way, you could be testing your strength within this sort of small time window. So people recommend 60 seconds to 2 minutes maximum. I think I'm gonna do most of my work in the 60-second area. Maybe later when I'm getting like to a heavier load, I'll try a longer time. But I still haven't decided yet. This is like one of those things that you can figure out after you run the program for like 2, 3, 4 times. I'm doing it in different lifts, and I'm still like doing my hypertrophy work. I like being strong. I also, it's a kind of ego thing. I just kind of like. Actually, maybe it's not an ego thing. I just love lifting heavy ass loads. It's just something about putting a lot of weight on the bar that, or like at least in the moment, there's a lot on the bar, seem to be fairly satisfying. And I've realized this thing where I might reach a point where that weight is no longer a lot for me. So what happens, I actually get satisfied. Like right now I'm doing, for like the 1 rep max stuff, I'm doing at it like 45 kilograms added to my body weight. Probably when I start doing it for reps, I might just stick to that weight for longer. Like I'm kind of satisfied. It's like kind of reaching 100 kilogram for reps on bench. Like now I can do it. Now I don't care too much about doing 100 kilogram for reps. It's not that many reps. Also, since we've moved to bench press, let's kind of put it aside the 5 sets of 1 or like 7, whatever it's going to be at the end. We're kind of done. Don't really have much to talk about. For the bench, I actually hit a personal best with 95 after like, what would we do that day? I need to check my log. I did 5 sets of 1 with 110 with 60-second rest between. So I think that's kind of my second week on the 5 sets of 1. So we started like 106. I added 4, and then I'm going to start adding 5 kilograms every week till I hit a wall. And we'll see how it goes. Then I did 2 sets of 10 at 95. Then I think I hit a 12 or a 13, which was kind of impressive because on the 1 rep max calculator, I think it was like 133. And knowing that I did so much work that fatigued me and got me more tired, kind of is good. It's a good sign. So I'm actually really getting close to 140 kilogram bench, even though I haven't really focused on it because I'm focused on my second big goal, which is 100 kilogram overhead press. which will take a while. Actually, kind of could have hit 140 kilograms last year if I really wanted to. I just don't care too much. I even removed bench at some point from my own program. I regressed for like 2 weeks. Well, like I think my one rep max was like 110. Then like within 2, 3, 4 weeks, I went back up to 120, 125, which is like, I'm not surprised. It's not like I added 15 kilograms to my bench. It just recovered my strength. And now actually I'm getting stronger. I think really my form is one of the biggest problem with my bench. Other things for the bench is I realized my form was shit and my setup was shit. To be specific, my form is still shit, but partially my form is having two problems right now. The first problem is I over retracted my shoulder, which made unracking the bar fairly heavy. So my solution was I just shrugged my shoulders up, which was a temporary solution, but it was not that good. It kind of still kind of felt weird when I was benching. It felt uncomfortable, not in a good way, but it also didn't feel like it was going to injure me, so I kept doing it that way. And I think possibly the strength gain I've had actually because I might have just changed my style. So instead of moving my scapula now, I just move my head forward, I nudge it, and it kind of pulls or like makes my shoulders drop down a little bit, and it just sets them back, sets them where they want to be. I'm gonna create a lot of that, getting used to that new scap movement to 5 sets of one. What I really liked about the 5 sets of one is you get to practice your setup 5 times. So because my setup kind of sucked, now I get to practice 5 times, and then after that, I get to do my work, which is why I might recommend it for a lot of people that kind of want to work on their form, or especially setups, actually. Like if you suck at setting up your bench, do 5 sets of one. Not because it's superior to maybe other strength programs. You could also practice on the side, but having something like you kind of set number and knowing it's a part of the program, you do it, you move on. This seems to work better for me. Seems more like, actually, partially why I kind of ended up gravitating towards the 5 sets of one, because the reason I gravitated towards the 5 sets of one is I like having things written on paper, and I like following the program. What I didn't like about conjugate is my inability to just kind of set a red line and be like, you're not allowed to push this hard. I told myself I'm not allowed to, but I end up always pushing. But when I have on paper, it says 5 sets of 1 on 106, for example, on bench. I do that and I don't complain. But if you like figure out what you're gonna do for the day, I tend to just not do that. Oh boy, I failed so many times on conjugate, which is a part of the process. I know, but when you know you're not supposed to do it that way, and you just keep putting it once, twice, 3 times in the row, like you do it for pull-ups, you do it for overhead press, and you do it for bench, you just start questioning your ability to stick what you think is right. Like I think maybe if I were to make somebody else run conjugate, which I may not do ever, because I think it's easier to follow something that is written in paper, I think I would rather avoid it. Not a bad way of programming, but it requires people that are willing to feel things, which feeling things is harder than just following a written percentage. It's just harder. Like if you told you, go feel it out and see how much you're going to bench today, maybe for very advanced people, that's a good recommendation. You tell them, I want you to do it at 80% and you do 5 sets, or whatever you feel is 80%. They might be able to know what an 80% for that day is, which I don't even some advanced people will not be able to do, but that's why I gravitated towards it more. Anyhow, gosh, I see it gets sidetracked so much here. Back to bench. So scapula we talked about, and over retraction. And the other problem was my scaps also again. So the second problem was my scaps, but completely unrelated to over retracting. And that was this right scapula is stupid. It doesn't know how to move as good as this scapula. Probably because I'm left-handed and I just move my hand more freely. And what I'm doing to fix it right now is loo raises. Simple. I'm just spamming loo raises. If you think my hand movement in this part of the video looks weird and it's like nobody does low raises like that. You're correct because I was talking about Y raises the whole time. I just said low raises instead. So yeah, I think of Y raises, not low raises for this. I have a specific form. I will keep moving backward till I hit a wall. My body physically can't go any further back. That's one recommendation if you have scapular movement, because when you're moving within this range, that's some scapula and shoulders, but if you go all the way back, that is a lot of scapula. This last range of motion is a lot of scapula and some assistance from your shoulder. Now, the other tip I have for you if you're gonna do low raises is, and you have hard time moving this shoulder, same as this when exercising, is do one rep here, do one rep there, or like do full set here and then full set there. It really is better for you because it's easier to figure out how to move this shoulder on its own than having to move two shoulders. It's more dexterity. Over time, you need to work towards moving both, but I found that I can't control my body to the point where I just need to move the right shoulder alone, then the left shoulder. And actually, I'm doing it the right then left because I can get more practice with heavier load. That's the plan. Like right now, I'm doing 5. I did 30. 30 reps going right, left. So 15. 15 for each side. And we're going to do more weight next time. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I actually did right then left. I would have probably gotten like 10. Because last time I tried an AMRAP, I got like 10. So just do the right left, a lot more practice, and you'll thank me for it. And the other reason, not having your scapulas move as freely can cause shoulder pain and can cause imbalances. I have a bar shifting problem, and it's because my scapulas don't move the same. It is what it is. We're working on it. I'm not going to stop benching. It doesn't seem to always happen. Actually, with time, we've gotten better. A lot better. Shit, I've been talking for so long. 70 minutes. Okay, let's move to the overhead press because, gosh, we gotta move on. So, overhead press, 100 kilograms. Scapulas, one moves different than the other, which is same low raises we're using for bench problem and overhead press problem. My biggest issue with overhead press right now is the fact that I don't flex my quads with my glutes. And how to fix that is quite simple, actually. It's not that I didn't know it before. I just had to be reminded of it. I don't even remember what came to my head. I was like, wait a second, I'm not flexing my quads. And I tried flexing them on one set. And boy, it made that overhead press feel way much easier. One of the biggest problem was I tend to just get wobbly, like right, left. And actually, one of the reasons I started trying obliques to help my overhead press feel less wobbly, all I had to do apparently was flex my quads. And voila, it worked. My current problem with that is I'm cramping on high reps, which probably going to happen less, hopefully, as you get used to it. So we'll see. Hopefully it stops for sure. Because I'm really not liking the cramps. I cramped like once, I cramped once and almost cramped again on that day. It was really not fun. I'm still going to do the side bends. I'm doing like super range of motion side bends. They're amazing. So I'm just going to keep doing them. They harm me not at all. And I kind of get into liking the movement a little bit. So good. Apparently being ignorant about my quads, not being flexed on overhead press made me train my obliques now. So a win-win. Not going to complain. Also working on core overall is good for you. Bigger core, bigger lifts. You will not be able to push the most amount of weight if you have a weak link. Because this weak link will come and bite you in the long run. Will my obliques be the problem? Now that I know the problem was flexing my quad, when I get to 100 kilograms or try to get to it, it very likely will be a problem. So why not train them right now? So I don't have to play catch up later? Like, it's really not that best, not best practice. If you're short on time, sure, I can understand trying to ignore them, but you're not going to lift as much weight if you try and don't try to fill the gaps before they actually start hurting your progress. Whew, gosh, 20 minutes of yapping is crazy. See, I actually like this style. Alright, so we're done with the overhead press. I don't think there's anything else. Seems like everything going fine. Behind the neck press, moving better. Now I've flexed my quad. Every overhead press variation so far just is better with my quads flexed. Also, before I move on to the Nordic curls, if you're like wondering how do I flex my quads, it's quite actually simple. So pretend those are your feet, and when you have them on the floor, try pushing or like rotating them outward like this, both of them, or like try pushing your knees out, and it'll flex your quads. How do you know you flex your quads? You'll feel your glutes squeeze, and if you rotate them as hard as you can, that's what you have to do the whole time when you're overhead pressing. You could relax them when you don't not overhead pressing because it's unnecessary. So when I kind of about to cramp, or you feel like if flexing them the whole time was going to make you cramp, relax them a bit when you don't need to support so much weight. So more than likely it's going to be at the bottom. And your glutes, you flex them. That was not my problem, so I didn't mention it, but you also want to flex your glute. You just push your hip forward and you flex your glutes and then rotate your legs, not arms, and voila. A very stable overhead press position. I mentioned that in the previous video I didn't like, so I don't expect you guys to watch. Maybe this will get more love. At least I'm interested in making these videos, and I get to yap. So let's move on to the Nordic curl. Also, before I actually move on, gosh. Those videos are going to be shorter, I promise. Now I just have so much to yap about. With time, I'm going to have less to yap about. Nordic curl time. No other caveats, no other tidbits thrown here or there. We're going straight to the Nordics now. Directly. Yes, in a second. After you stop yapping. Any second now. Anyhow, okay, so I'm sorry. So today, I actually tried doing 1 rep max on Nordic. Wasn't really the best attempt. I only get 5 kilograms. It felt hard. It moved fast. Surprisingly, like I felt like I got stuck there and it was super grindy. But when I looked at the VOD, it was quite fast, which surprised me. Not complaining. That's why you should record your stuff. And I actually like streaming my workouts for that reason. I could go look back, clip it, watch it a gazillion times, and post it on Instagram for you guys to watch. And kind of be like, okay, this felt like shit. It felt like I was moving so slow. Yet it didn't move so slow. And you just feel good about it. So sometimes how you feel in the moment doesn't correlate to how it actually moved in real time. Sometimes you just kind of go slow-mo when you're lifting for some reason. Anyhow, so we did 5 kilograms. I was weighing 86.7 during the day. The one leg Nordic might start soon. I was kind of intending on building a bigger base. I'd get a little bored. So we're probably going to do the 5 sets of 1 thing to it too, just to get the most practice, because doing things one-legged requires more practice. Maybe I'll drop it again. I mean, I'm still getting like stimulus at the end of the day. We'll see how the progress goes, if I feel like I've made much. My best was 15 kilograms assistance, I believe. The problem was that 15 kilograms... Oh boy. Whew. The problem was the 15 kilograms assistance was a lighter body weight, so I'm like 7-8 kilograms heavier, I think. Or maybe 5, worst case scenario. So yeah, it's gonna be harder. It's one of those lifts where heavier weight will make it harder, but also maybe easier, because the bigger the gut, the less the range of motion. So there is that. We'll see how it goes. You know, to some degree, I think if I get chunky enough, it might be easier to just kind of use my gut to bounce out of the bottom and finish the rep. And yes, I might use my gut to bounce out of the bottom. I never said it's going to be a clean one, Nordic. I am right now doing Nordic curls fairly clean. I'm not using my body to bounce out of the bottom. If I did, I can probably do more weight on. I would have done more weight actually on my 1 rep Nordic. I 1 rep max. So that's like a 91.7 if you can do the math. We'll see how the progress goes for 1 leg Nordic. I started doing Jefferson curls again, which I'm trying to make sure they don't affect my progress. So far, they're not. We'll see how much. I'm trying to make it a lot of spine. So I was thinking maybe I'll just do the bottom portion and just see how much I can progress it. I haven't made up my mind. Mistakes I've done for when it comes to Nordic curl, which is why my today's performance I think I had more than 5 kilograms in me. I just did 5 sets of 5. I was hype one day and I was like, fuck it, let's do 5 sets of 5 on squats. And yeah, it fucked up my recovery. It is literally the reason why I stopped doing squats heavy. I need any extra hamstring. And it seems like squats just kind of fairly fatiguing. I think squats are more fatiguing than Nordic Jefferson curls, I meant, when it comes to my Nordic curl progress. So I'm either gonna either do it super heel elevated and see how it goes from there. The problem is like if you try to progress squats so fast, it just gets hingy. It's one of those lifts like even at a very high incline, you can still hinge a little bit. I was doing Zerchers and it felt like I was getting more hingy with the time, which is why I went back to barbell squats. We'll see. We'll see. I'll just make sure I don't get carried away. Sometimes you just do. Gosh, I really suck at following my own program. Sometimes it pisses me off. I'm like, like after I regressed, and the 1 leg Nordic felt heavier the next day, and same with Nordics. I was looking at myself like, you dumb fuck. Okay, you're a dumb fuck. You can't follow your own program. Remember why we stopped squatting? Yes, exactly, because it was fucking up your Nordic curl progress. And boy, it did it. It did it again. I guess it's a reminder that I shouldn't be squatting super NG or with a lot of sets. I think the 1-2 sets worked quite well. Like 1 set of squats, 2 sets of squats is like is as much as I can handle. I think, even if it wasn't even though literally those 5 sets of 5 weren't to failure. For the record, I did 100 for 5 sets of 5, which is not much weight. I could have made it more hingy, but I was trying to actually not make it as hingy as possible. As you get fatigued, you just start leaning a little forward. And as a guy that doesn't actually hinge that much on his squats, it still fucked me up. So that to put that into perspective, even me not being super hingy still fucked it up. So yeah, if you're going for 1 leg Nordic, I don't know, maybe stick to machines where you know you can isolate your quads. Like if I had a Smith machine, I would just do like something with my feet in front so I can only just go up and down and try and not get any hamstring. Or like I forget the name of the machine, but any machine that allows me to do quads. Maybe even I was even thinking maybe I would just literally do leg extensions. Alright? Just leg extensions. While I'm trying to train for 1 leg Nordic. I would literally have done it. I could have actually pushed the volume insanely high on those. Would have been just fine for my quad growth. But you can't build a big quad squat. You can. You can. And some people might say, you can't build big chest, big anything without combat movement. You can. Is it going to require high intensity? Yes. Will you potentially need more volume? Possibly. It depends on the lift at the end of the day. So whatever. I'm not one of those people that believe that you can't build big chest or big shoulders with side delts. But I think the thing with those is it requires you to go to war every time. You need to just go super hard on those. Like on side raises, you might go beyond failure, which actually would have been working the most for me, even though I actually do plenty of overhead press. I think going beyond failure is just more convenient. And the best way to go about it, even though this is completely unrelated to the Nordic curl, but kind of related if you want to do leg extensions is you could do right side, left side, right side, left side, and maybe go back and forth like 4 times and go to failure. And I actually like to keep those like fairly low reps. If you want to go for maybe 2 times, you can keep them very low, like even 8 reps, and it will work wonders. Just make sure you use a lot of body English. You want to use a lot of body English, and there's an art to using body English. Maybe I'll make a video about it. Maybe I'll yap about it. I think I would rather yap about it like this than actually make a video. But it's sort of an art. I don't recommend people who are beginners to do it because it requires more body awareness. But it works. I've done reps of side raises where people told me you get a 0. Yes, a 0 shadow stimulation. And it still grew. And actually, if anything, those heavy side raises with body English probably were better than actually the strict one. But it cannot push your shoulders on everything. That's one thing you'll learn eventually. If you don't want to get injured, you cannot push everything. Sometimes you have to regress. Overhead extensions might need to regress. Skull crushers, push downs for like a day or two, a week, 2 week. You don't know. My elbows get achy sometimes because I'm pushing bench, overhead press, and other presses. Oh. Seems like I forgot the door open. Anyhow, I lost my train of thought. Dang it. I swear I stopped. Oh yeah. Achy elbows. You might need to go lower. And isolation is the best way to go. The best place to go. Lower and lower weight, higher rep ranges. Try and get PRs with the higher rep ranges. Sure, less comfortable, but you just cannot have everything heavy. Eventually, you'll have to go lower. As you get stronger, things beat you up more stress on the elbows. So when my elbows hurt on a bench press, I do 2 things, for example. I don't do super close grip, and I just take it lighter on my push downs and extensions for like a week or 2, and all of a sudden, as good as new. Like my elbows were EK not long ago. I just lowered the weight, and voila, like magic. Still a little beat up. I can feel them being beat up a little, but nothing crazy. I'll just keep doing the lower weight. Do also maybe variation less that beats you up less. Like, for example, push downs. Instead of doing this close grip with a V bar, just do shoulder width. That seems to be the most comfortable. And if that's still not that very comfortable for you, just do each hand separate. Some machines have separate cables. You can also do the rope where you can move them freely. You have multiple options. But overall, things that allow you to push more weight, more beat up. Like the V bar push down, I add like 2.5 to 5 kilograms on my push downs, maybe 2.5, just by going closer. So I just go wider, less load, less beat up on the elbows. And even this might become like too much stress at some point. And if it does, I'm willing to go separate hands. I tried it. It feels amazing. Everything feels better than the V bar, the easy bar attachment. But the problem with it is like you're pushing less load, less stable. But I think over time, when you get stronger, stability is not really that important. Like right now, it's helping me horsecock more, which giving more stimulus. But as I get stronger, probably every set becomes kind of more stimulating because it's lifting more load. So going separate hands as you get stronger is very viable option, especially if you need to save that elbow from being achy, because you can handle so much. And if you don't follow these rules, you will get beat up. Either you're gonna get tendinitis, could get injured, and it's not good for you. You know why it's not good for you? Either from the achy part, you're ruining your progress. You are straight up ruining your progress. If you don't care about your progress, you're gonna complain all day about being achy and, oh god, my elbows hurt so much. You brought it upon yourself. Most of the time, people with achy shoulders, achy back, achy elbows, achy whatever, they brought it upon themselves. they just didn't want to listen to their body. They kept pushing it, and all of a sudden they're injured. And sure, there's like this 1% that is like, oh, I'm genetically cursed. My elbow is deformed. I can overextend it, and freaking, it's not fair. Sure, but you're not that guy in a lot of cases. So fix your training. Don't blame genetics for your elbows being beat up. Some of us gonna be more able to handle more load. Their joints are just built like a fucking tank. Those also are not you. You don't pretend that this guy is you. You'll get injured. Over time, you'll know if you're that guy or not that guy. You'll start adding more weight maybe on the lift, and you don't feel just fine. Then you carry on. You're very special. No, you're very special. So enjoy it. You're necessarily good from that. So have fun. Horsecock. Do things other people can't do. But don't assume that you're that guy, then get injured and have to regress on training. A lot of people that injure themselves, they don't come back to training. I go to coaching classes and I hear a lot of people complain about, oh, my shoulder got achy, so I stopped benching, I stopped doing this and that. And they just kind of start talking about how they want to go back to gym, yada yada yada. Even though the coach there's still don't work out somehow, or trying to get coaching degrees don't work out. It's whatever. Overall, just kind of really, you don't have to be that guy. Fix your training, or get someone to fix it for you if you don't want to fix it. Got extra money? Pay someone to fix it. There is a lot of people out there that I just wanted to fix your training, and they'll take your money gladly. I don't know what to tell you. Anyhow, I'll take your money gladly. I'm trying to coach people, but that was not the subject of the video. But if you made it that far, give me your money. I'm not a Jew, but Jews are close enough. So, I guess I get the trait of wanting money. It's just kind of infectious. I don't know. I got a big nose. I think I got a big nose. Can't spell money. Anyway, fuck. I don't even know why I side tangent there. Anyway, video over. Bye-bye. More of these. I like those. You like those? We like those. Fuck yeah. Bye-bye.